Hello, welcome to my introduction to musical harmony based on music phenomenology. Uh, I think it is good to give a bit of a warning before that what I will talk about might actually seem not so practical to people because I will go into my approach will be very detailed and and we are just going on a journey of investigating the phenomena we find in music. So what are those inner laws in music that govern us when we play or compose? So I guess what I'm going to talk about is for those that are maybe a bit frustrated about what they have been told in their music theory courses. So I'm speaking to those that are tired of just hearing opinions and learning rules without knowing where they come from. So we are going on a musical journey to try to kind of find the key to the musicality so that we can enter the dimension where music exists. And what is better to do than to start with a sound? What is it in sound that kind of is manifested so that we hear a musical tone? What needs to be there? Well, it is an organization of frequencies, of vibrations. So that when we do this, for example, we hear maybe a noise, we hear a sound, and it has some form, but it's not maybe musical in nature, because it's not a musical tone of what we call music. Because there isn't a clear hierarchy of frequencies. So what is the difference between this and this? Or this and So we are, maybe now it's just a small kind of an example of the difference between a sound and a musical tone. So what is it? immediately when I play this tone, the C on the piano, then I hear many more notes. This is very clear. So we enter now into the domain of what is called the overtone series. Because in each tone, in each tone is an impact of sound. You can hear the sound in its most basic element, but included in it is the frequency double the speed, triple the speed, quadruple the speed, and 5 times faster, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, and to infinity. And what makes a tone musical in nature is some kind of a hierarchy, that we don't just hear everything equal. So there's some sort of a form, not just chaos. And that is what makes a piano sound different than a trombone. So it is the same basic frequency, but with a different hierarchy of overtones. And that is the hierarchy of overtones that creates color. Which you can find out by just simply using your voice. Oh, yeah, so always the same pitch, but different colors. Because with each manipulation of my lips and jaw and tongue, then I'm changing the form. So I'm changing the hierarchy of the upper vibrations to the vibrations that are not directly played or sung or struck, but those that appear. They're just there. Even if they're not played. It is there. So let's look a bit on this kind of, to understand the basic principle of the overtone series. It's actually quite simple. From 1, we get 2. To 3, to 4. And so this is all part of the overtone series, that this is all happening at the same time. So 1, all happening at the same time. I can do it all at the same time, but I can do something. So with each impact, you get this fundamental frequency, this impact, and its resolutions, which are the overtones. It just happens by nature. Impact and consequence. So it's a small movement with a little finger. But what it can unleash is very rich. So, if you just first approach it rhythmically, so that if this is a frequency, then let's give that frequency the number 1, 1, 1. Then at the same time, just a bit softer, is the frequency twice the speed happening at the same time. And also at the same time, it's 3 times the speed. So that was rhythmically. So you have 1 and then twice the speed, and 3 times the speed. And if you look at it melodically, then what do we see? Yes, is that the tone that is twice the speed, twice the frequency of the first tone is this tone here. So it's the closest relative of each tone is what we call the octave. And that is why it sounds so kind of pleasant to our ears. Even though it could sound, if you think about it, there are 12 tones, then, it's quite far. But it is the closest relative. Ram, dum, bum, bum, see, but it is almost the same. It is the simplest kind of extension of that note. It is the octave. So play together. That would be. And played in a melodic form would be rhythmically like this. So, if you can say that the octave up, going up an octave, is going twice the speed, twice faster, double the speed. So what would be down? It would be down an octave. So if this is 1, 1, 1, 1, can think of it as a quarter note. Then the octave below would be like this. So if you get the octave relation, extrovert octave relation on this, it would be and if that becomes the stable tone, what would be the octave relations of that? It's double the speed.